Look at that. Gotta wall this up. Serious food gathering. Yeah. There you go. That's a villager kill right there. Look at these Donzos putting in work. I've got a good feeling we can survive this. Yeah, what we've got going on is great. We're getting into the rice fields here. We really want in. What a great idea. Hey everyone, good you're tuning back in. You're tuned in for some more ranked team games on Age of Empires 4, and we are on the map Dry Arabia. I've got my ally, Ming Vegetables, playing as the English, and myself, I'm playing as the Abbasid. I just like Abbasid on Dry Arabia. You'll probably see me also play Chinese on this map. Starting to consider Ottoman on this map, but not sure. Still trying to figure that out. Up against our opponents, Rick Sanchez playing as the English, and Juliox? Maybe Juliox, playing as the French. I believe our English opponent is up top, French opponent down this way. Not going to be as chaotic as a 3v3, but I do recall this game being pretty chaotic. This is a map where nearly everything feels like a focal point. There's going to be a lot of scraps over areas of the map. Sometimes we're not even sure what we're scrapping over, but I remember it being pretty exciting. My thoughts here are we're up against the French-English combo, which is always terrifying. However, I am playing as the Abbasid, so we do have strong spearmen, and we can deal with cavalry later on with our camel riders and our camel archers. But the real worry is that a huge longbowman mass is going to pair up with a huge knight mass, and I'm just going to lose everything, or my ally is going to lose everything. My ally may be a really good target since he's not going to have very many spearmen. Aging up, we're now getting our fresh foodstuffs. We're just waiting on the English players to age up. They're probably going to take their sweet time. There we go, Ming Vegetables going up, and we'll probably see Rick Sanchez in a moment here. Scout headed across the map. I'm trying to find where that first Royal Knight is going to go, and I was able to spot a French scout head this way. And there it is at the front of my base. We're going to scare it off with some spearmen. We're also going to put an outpost down because I don't like how exposed the front of my base is. It's where my gold deposit ended up being, and it's where I've also got a lot of lumber camps. We're putting down some extra lumber camps. You'll see we've got 2 here. It's a good idea to put down extra lumber camps as the Abbasid because not only does it give you wood efficiency, but you also get that golden age bonus. Remember, the Abbasid, they get a golden age bonus when they get a certain number of buildings connected to their network. You can see this yellowish network kind of connecting all my buildings. If you get up a certain number of buildings, you get like a tier of the golden age, and the first golden age bonus is nice. You get increased resource gathering. We lost our scout to some Royal Knights, and now we're seeing the Royal Knights are targeting my ally. Ally's going for stone, wants that early second town center. I can't blame them. I love doing it myself as the English. And he's really baiting this. Yeah. He loses 2 villagers there, but he does get the knight. Not an awful trade. I'm going to bring my scout over because I feel like my ally could use more vision. Yeah, he really wants to get an outpost down on that gold vein, an outpost down on this stone, but if he can get away with only putting it on one of them, he'll be happy. I'm kind of bracing for whatever attack's coming my way. We're going stables, barracks, and I don't think we're going to be making much else for a while. Oh, English showing up at my base. Kind of a weird crossover. The French player decided to cross the map to attack the English player, and the English opponent decided to cross the map diagonally to attack me. He's frozen my gold mining. This is a smart move. Just hold position, your longbowmen. near the gold vein. No need to engage with the outpost. I have to put the arrow slits enhancement on it if I want to start shooting at these longbowmen. And even then they might outrange me just based on the positioning here. This is a smart move. That's 3 villagers of mine that aren't working right now. That said, gold isn't much of a priority for me. I really just want to get this stone, which we did, and now we just need to gather up a little bit of wood. But unfortunately, we're now getting double teamed here. Losing a villager there, probably going to lose. Oh, lost the spearman for free there. He didn't even turn around to try to skewer. Probably going to lose another villager. Oh, yep. But we do have units. We've got spearmen. Oh, 3 villagers going down. Do we have textiles? We don't. It's literally next in the queue. Oh, villagers getting charged down. Yeah, we're going to lose a few here, but spearmen are hitting knights. Oh, losing more villagers. That was 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 over here. It's very painful. Ouch. Yeah, let's get those villagers inside, firing arrows. But let's think here. We lost maybe 5 or 6 villagers, maybe 7 if you want to go that high. But where are all the French knights? He rolled in here with maybe 7 of them, and they're all dead. So we cleaned up, and now all these English forces are just kind of here. My ally did show up, started to squash this English attack. So yeah, the French player and I kind of traded. He traded his knights for villager kills. But the English opponent didn't really get anything. Just kind of rolled up to the front of my base and then got mowed down by horsemen, longbowmen. It just really wasn't very effective. I think while the French player could walk away from that being like, I contributed, I don't think the English player can say the same. Besides, even if we lost some villagers, we're going to build our second town center now. My ally is doing the same. I think we've both recognized, hey, we survived an attack. I don't think they're going to be coming at us for another few minutes. Maybe like the 13-minute mark, we might see them again, or the 14-minute mark. That's if they decide to stick to the feudal age. Let's use that time to get down our second town centers. I'm going to put mine on these deer. My ally, putting it up here, I think he's trying to go for a hidden expansion. Maybe he'll chop down these trees or gather from this gold. And it is near this trade post. That's pretty cool. I think I'm messaging my ally right now being like, we just have no vision. We need to scout. We need to figure out what our opponents are doing. So I'm going to send horsemen around to harass, and I think I'm going to start producing more scouts. Yep, there's a scout. Because we need to get out on the map. We have decent vision in the back of our base thanks to some outposts. Yeah, this outpost here, and this town center on the back side. It's nice. It's catching any units that might be running back here. Looking at these current resources, English opponent gain a lot of food, but not seeing any gold being gathered. Whereas for the French, yeah, they seem to be spending their resources in the feudal age. Get a little lucky here, spot a villager putting down an outpost. I'm guessing the French opponent is running out of resources. We're going to try and kill this villager here. At the same time, we've got horsemen attacking the English. No luck there. We're at least able to cancel this outpost and force the villager back. So these deer, not going to be gathered for a while. And there's a lot of deer. This is a double deer camp right here. Wow. No wonder the French player is starting to eyeball this. But this is where the French opponent put their resources, it looks like, into another cluster of royal knights. Me, I'm targeting villagers down in the wood line for the English player. We'll just snipe a villager and then run for it, because we do not want to deal with English town centers. They hurt. But now I feel like we're getting a better idea of what's going on. Haven't seen any units responding from the English. I have to assume maybe he's saving up. We got our scout to the front line. Looked like we prevented something. This is why scouting is so important. French player keeping a scout with his knights, so smart, and they identify the secret town center that's being built over here, or that's been built over here, and now they can put a stop to all this gold mining. Great play from Juliox here. It's so smart. English player has to retreat, although his infantry is showing up. I'm also going to send some spearmen over as well. So I was able to deny this deer from just being gathered for free, and our opponents were able to find this expansion from my ally. Don't sleep on making scouts. Get a stables. It's just so good to have scouts in the mix, especially when you're floating a little bit of extra food. All right, we've got enough to age up. We'll probably do that. And now I'm kind of taking stock of the game here. I'm aging up to the castle age. No one else has made it to the castle age, and I'm anticipating that while I'm aging up, we're going to see an age up from one of our opponents, because we're seeing them gather a lot of resources off the map, and we're seeing big unit clusters. I have to assume they're producing units and they're going to go castle age, and that neither of them are on a second town center. So we're bracing for the opponent age up, because we're assuming they went hard feudal, built a standing army, attacked me, harassed my ally, and now they've probably built up another decent force. They're just going to wait for a castle age up, and then attack us. I feel like it's going to be a timing attack, a castle age timing attack. Because as it is, me and my ally are just kind of on the defense here. Ouch. Oh, I'm so glad we got the textiles upgrade. And I'm so glad we have all of these spearmen and horsemen just patrolling around. It's giving us the chance to actually put down these royal knights. But now the English are showing up at the front of my base. And, oh, good kills on my villagers. Let's retreat them inside if we can. Okay, we lose 2, then we retreat. That's all right. There was only room for 5 villagers anyway. French knights in the back of my base, English infantry at the front. We've seen this before. We're not scared. We've handled this before. Stab down the knights, send our horsemen maybe up to attack these archers, and ping our allies so that he knows what's going on. And he's showing up with his forces. I age up. No one else has. That feels really good. Oh, and this is great engagement here. The final finishing touch to this battle would be me sending these horsemen in to engage on the longbowmen, and that's what we're going to do. So some villagers were killed here, some villagers were killed here, maybe some villagers were killed here. And yep, there's the French opponent aging up. But I really feel like that age up, it should have came... I mean, he shouldn't have thrown away his French knights before aging up. I mean, now he could have upgraded them to veteran royal knights and gotten some of the excellent upgrades that you can get for the French royal knights, like the royal bloodlines. But he just doesn't have a standing army anymore. He's going to have to completely remake it. And that's a problem, because if we look at income per minute, my ally ahead in gold, nearly, yeah, neck and neck with the opposing English player. And I'm just gathering up so much wood right now. And I'm already eyeballing the farm transition, so we should see my income really start to climb. I do some aggression here, attacking this hunt camp, but there's just too many royal knights already there. We've also got a few units standing in the back. We're using them to patrol back and forth, find out if there's any trading going on, if there's any gathering from this gold or these stones. We're just trying to maintain a presence on the map so we don't see any resources being gathered for free. And we're gathering resources ourselves. Our English ally doesn't really seem to care for these berries. Me, as the opposite, I really care for berries, so I'll go and gather those. Kind of seeing the French commit here. This seems to be the point on the map that they want. There's lots of food and gold, and a nice stealth forest here and here. They'd love to secure that area of the map. Here's those French knights swinging down. We'll probably just chase them off with these units, because we have also walled. We have done a little bit of walling. And our ally is doing the same. Looking good. Let's check in our ally. Not seeing very many upgrades. Probably needs a blacksmith. Yep, blacksmith's going down. We've got our own blacksmith down, but haven't gathered any upgrades. We do have our mosque out, so we are starting to gather up relics. We are nearly all in the castle age. It looks like my ally still needs to age up, but I haven't really seen many relics disappearing from the map, so we might as well jump on it, especially because we'd like that passive gold income. My ally has decided to age up with the White Tower, and he's putting it near this stone and gold vein. Pretty smart, but when I click on this gold vein, notice something. It's being mined. My ally doesn't realize it, but there are enemy villagers right here gathering from the gold, and our opponent doesn't realize that there's a White Tower being built right here. I think they're too busy being distracted by my horsemen, although he hasn't noticed them. They're getting free villager kills. I think he's too focused on his big attack that he has planned over here with battering rams and infantry. The English opponent's going to try and shut down this town center and trade operation that's going on here. But we're getting villager kills while this is going on. Ouch. That's a lot of villagers. I think there were maybe 7 over here. And the outpost is right here, just waiting for them to jump in. But here it is. Heavily armored man-at-arms, a battering ram. And because this is a secondary town center, it's got basically no health on it. I'm similarly seeing losses here. I sent in a small force with battering rams, thinking the French opponent would have sent his units elsewhere. Not true. Turns out they're all still here and supported by English longbowmen. So there's 2 points on the map that our opponents are really hoping to secure. This deer hunt and gold. They want to get rid of this second town center, which they just did. And this point is highly contested. The English player just lost another 6 or 7 villagers that were mining this gold to the White Castle, which just popped up here and is now attacking the King's Palace. It's going to just slowly melt it away. And my English ally just ended up doing an insanely great strategic play here and didn't even realize it. Just built his White Tower right next to the King's Palace of our opponent. And now it's just one English landmark messing up another English landmark. Over here, English on English action. Super tanky man-at-arms duking it out as longbowmen in the back support. Honestly, these armies are not well suited for fighting each other. If someone rolls in with a few crossbowmen, this would be a big advantage. Here, I'm trying to use conversion to scare away these veteran royal knights, but here they come into our base, and now we're seeing those French upgrades. The increased health, really great blacksmith upgrades on them. And gosh, they're rolling in. That said, we've got the units to put a stop to it. We've got crossbowmen, we've got a few spearmen, we've even got knights of our own. And I should mention we're up to 3 town centers. We built a 3rd town center back here, and we're gathering up gold. Tried to harass some villagers at this wood line, no luck. We are harassing villagers at this stone. Those patrolling spearmen finally found something, but they got stabbed to death by villagers. Unfortunate. Okay, there's the crossbowman showing up to the fight. So now my English ally's doing really well. Sadly, he lost his 2nd town center, but he was producing villagers from them for some time. So hopefully he's able to leverage that brief economic advantage. Hopefully he retreated the villagers that were up here. I couldn't tell. My market's going down. Unfortunate. Wish this battering ram hadn't decided to move on to it. Over here, once again, our enemies are pivoting to attack. I'm going to go for another conversion using my imam. Might as well use these relics. No luck. We'll just have to stab down these French knights. White Tower's still doing great work against this King's Palace. And we're still patrolling on the back end, trying to find what we can. Yep, here come those knights, but these crossbowmen... Oh, I am losing villagers, but I'm okay losing villagers now. I'm triple producing. They're dirt cheap for me. They've got textiles. Like, I've done all I can for my villagers. They just need to work for me and get stuff done. Oh, a mom. Sorry about that. You're just kind of leaving the mosque into a huge battle. We get the emplacement, the spring-hauled emplacement on this outpost, so now our opponents really have to deal with it. And that's good, because that means the mangonel will be distracted, the knights will be distracted, and we can clean up these units and push forward. And my English ally has arrived with man-at-arms and crossbowmen, which are a great unit composition right now. There's not much that's going to beat that. We're cleaning this up. The siege game is starting to ramp up. You can see this mangonel rolled to the front. We've already seen battering rams do a lot of damage over here. And we're also seeing keeps coming out. We're going to need trebuchets. Fortunately, we do have 2 siege workshops, and we've done a really good job at making production. We've got a lot of barracks, decent number of archery ranges, a few stables. And the fact that we have 2 siege workshops is pretty amazing. We've clearly had a lot of wood coming our way. We've had our chance to do whatever we want with it. And unit production is going to be important here because I feel like the units I should be going for, if my ally's going to be making man-at-arms and crossbowmen, why don't I just make the cheap garbage units? Spearmen, horsemen, and then maybe a mix of some archers and crossbowmen. And then I can spend the rest of my money on the siege game or building outposts or getting castles down. I'm getting tons of food, tons of wood. Let's spend it. Let's spend it on just cheap units that will either trade really well against the French Royal Knights or trade well versus English longbowmen. Plus, we can send them all over the map. I haven't seen really any... Oh, damn. Wish my units had gone over there. Haven't really seen any walls from our opponents. So why not make trash units and just send them everywhere? Like I said, siege game's ramping up. They used a trebuchet to knock down the White Tower. So we've lost vision here, and this King's Palace can probably go back to work making villagers. Oh, denying a keep going up. French opponent losing a few villagers, and we're going to start to go to work on this keep. We've got a mangonel in the back firing. We've got a battering ram up front whacking away, and we've even got a trebuchet on the back end here. And here come those French Royal Knights, some veteran archers, some arbaletriers. Of course, on the back of all of this, we stab down 1 or 2 villagers. They start to retreat. We notice that we're not being effective here anymore. Let's move on to this gold. Maybe there's villagers there. The French Knights commit to killing the trebuchet. Unfortunate, that's an expensive unit. They also get the mangonel, and now they're going to retreat. But that's a lot of dead French Knights. That was 5 French Knights there. We'll take it. I mean, that's almost as... I'm sure that's either more or about as much as a trebuchet and a mangonel in terms of resources. And now, usually when I see a keep, I don't commit units to it, but this one is pretty injured. I don't see any French villagers nearby, and we have forces here, along with these really tanky English man-at-arms. Let's charge it and just burn it down. It does have the boiling oil upgrade, so it is burning our units as they stand underneath it, but I think we got this keep. Let's just roast it and move on. My ally is already moving on because he's actually under attack by the English over here. They've busted through with battering rams. They've got trebuchets on the back line, and they're just looking to destroy this production and maybe destroy these farmlands. I'm going to put down a outpost, but I don't think these villagers are going to be living for much longer. Back here, finding great villager kills with these spearmen and archers. Yep, going to lose my villagers. But my ally shows up kind of along the backside where all these juicy trebuchets are. We're just going to rip them apart using these English man-at-arms. And these longbowmen aren't doing anything. I mean, they're shooting for 9 damage. My allies' man-at-arms have 6 ranged armor, so they're only taking 3 damage a hit. We kill every single villager at this gold deposit, and we're moving on. That was a huge win. We still have not really seen big economic wins from our opponent, whereas I feel like we've basically taken over half of the map. I'm even going to try and leverage the trade that's going on back here. My ally has tons of resources. He's even spent it on putting down the Berkshire Palace. This will be up in a moment. He'll be in the Imperial Age, and he can get the enclosures upgrade. He seems to be fine. Meanwhile, over here, we're finding free siege units out in the field. Just sending my trash units out around the map, we're finding good pickups. Who knows what would happen if I sent more horsemen to the backside of these bases and looked for more villagers. And, yep, they're running low on resources. They're having to get out on the map. The French player economy is pretty much gone. English opponent's economy is strong, but I don't know. We're going to target this this King's Palace next because we want that White Tower back up, and that's where we're rallying all of our forces. So, yeah, we're going to finally combine efforts and rip all of this down. Religious game, yep, we're just kind of sitting on our 3 relics. I'd love to see me go and grab these sacred sites, especially now that I'm putting defenses down. Yep, still just finding random villager kills. It always pays to just send these garbage units around the map. You never know what you're going to find. You never know you're just going to suddenly come upon a bunch of villagers ready to get destroyed. Yep, here come the battering rams. Here come rams of my own. We're going to put a stop to this King's Palace. My ally should just send in his man-at-arms. They're going to do great. And yeah, you can see our opponent's finally starting to think of playing the religious game, but I've already secured a lot of relics, and I've got imams out on the map. We're going to keep playing. Ooh, and there's the surrender. This was just a game where me and my ally were able to get away with a second town center each, and even though there were constant attacks, we never fell apart, and then all of my garbage units just found random kills on the map, and we put a stop to all this aggression. It's a good game. Hoping for more. Catch you for the next one.